And we are back again, learning some Black history. Yes, we are back again here at Lincoln Cemetery. I hope that you all enjoyed my video the other day. See, this is what I'm talking about. Where are the Pullman porters? Where are the Pullman porters? Why is this man's bench looking like this? This is absolutely terrible, y'all. Terrible, absolutely terrible. Welcome back. We, the gals behind Tombstone Tea, are so glad you're here. We're on a mission to uncover the hidden gems of Black history buried right here in our Chicagoland cemeteries. While the North Side gets all the famous grave tours, our South Side ancestor walks are all about bringing that pride back home. We're actually in the middle of a big evolution. Our name is changing soon, but our heart stays the same. We're here for the history, the preservation, and the ancestors. Make sure that you are subscribed and those notifications are on. Let's see who we're honoring today here at Lincoln Cemetery. All right, y'all. So part of this will be voiced over because I'm not even going to lie to you. You don't want to listen to me ramble for 30 minutes. But the previous video, we walked around TLA. This is the path that we went around. If you're looking at the regular cemetery map up at the top, we walked around TLA. And also we went around sections 1 and 2, and we visited section 6 as well. For this trip, we will be going around section 8, part of section 4, section 9, and then also the Odd Fellows section of the cemetery. So I hope that you all will enjoy this video and these ancestor walks. Get out, get active, go take a bike ride in the cemetery out here at Lincoln Cemetery. So the first grave that we're going to go visit in section, 8 is Perry Parker. Now, I know you've heard of A. Philip Randolph and the Brotherhood Sleeping Porters, but Perry Parker was the antithesis. He was like the Martin Luther King to A. Philip Randolph's Malcolm X. And what I mean by that is where A. Philip Randolph wanted to work against the system, Perry Parker actually worked within the system. He was the general chairman of the Pullman Porters Benevolent Association of America, where they provided life insurance, sick leave, burial benefits for the Black Pullman porters where the white companies didn't want to cover them. He was a key ally to Abbott, Robert Singstack Abbott, the Chicago Defender founder. He and the Pullman porters successfully smuggled the Chicago Defender to the South, which helped to aid the Great Migration. Also, he was a key like company union guy. He worked within the system, which of course was against the Brotherhood of Sleeping Car Porters. He provided stability and benefits working within the Pullman company, and Randolph's men really wanted just higher wages, union recognition. They wanted it now. They wanted it fast. They wanted it now. He was a big part of the Black Bronzeville makeup. He was close with the Abbotts. He was close with the Overtons, who we saw in the previous video. Remember Anthony Overton? He owned his own newspaper company called the Chicago Bee. He also had a Chicago Hygienic Cosmetics company, and he also owned the first bank, which was Douglas National Bank. And he has a beautiful headstone, but apparently the Pullman porters really need to get out here and do something, which I just heard that they received a nice couple $1 million grant from our wonderful mayor. I mean, not what mayor, Governor Pritzker. So hopefully maybe somebody in the organization might come out here and fix his stone. We'll see. Anyway, behind him is another great man who made history. His name is Jesse Ernest Wilkins Sr. So Jesse Ernest Wilkins Sr., and you'll see his headstone is J. Ernest Wilkins. He was born in Farmington, Missouri, and came up here to go to the University of Chicago, where he attended for undergrad, and he also got his law degree. He was a labor and civil rights lawyer, and he was actually appointed Assistant Secretary for Labor of International Affairs by President Eisenhower. He was the first African American to attend sub-cabinet meetings during the Cold War, and he also was appointed to the United States Commission of Civil Rights. He was the first African American president of the Judicial Council of the Methodist Church, which is like the Supreme Court of the Methodist Church. And he interpreted church law for the Methodist Church. His son actually was a mathematic genius as well. If you've ever heard of J. Ernest Wilkins Jr., he graduated from the University of Chicago and was actually on the Manhattan Project. All right, so the next person that we are going to actually visit here in the cemetery in section 4 is Violette Neatley Anderson. So, Attorney Violette was actually a court reporter before she got her law degree from the Chicago Law School in 1920, becoming one of the first Black women in the state of Illinois to actually get her law degree. And she actually was the first city female prosecutor from 1922 to 1923. She was also the first vice president of the Cook County Bar Association from 1920 to 1926. And also in 1926, she was the first Black woman to practice law before the Supreme Court, in which she argued for the passage of the Bankhead Jones Act, which was finally passed into law in 1937, where she argued for sharecroppers to be able to take out loans to get their own land and to pay, for their own land. And also she was the 8th national president of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated. I wanted to take a quick second to say thank you. Exploring these sites, researching the history, and traveling to these forgotten corners takes a lot of time, resources. No AI or Wikipedia here. If you're feeling the spirit of these stories, do us a huge favor and hit that like button, subscribe, and send this to 3 people who love Chicago history as much as you do. If you're really feeling the Chicago history or you value the work that we are doing, feel free to buy us a coffee via Cash App on your screen. Every bit goes directly back into the gas tank and for supplies that makes these films possible. It's never expected, but truly appreciated. Now let's get back to the tea and the history. Okay, so now that we have visited Violette Anderson, we are now going to walk around to... It is so cold out here. I really should have my gloves actually on my hands. I really honestly hate to take them off when I'm in the cemetery. Put them on when I'm in the cemetery because I'm always losing them. Among other things. Sorry, you guys, I'm putting on my gloves. So back here, I know it's so cold. Back here, we are now entering section 9, and it is the beautiful, beautiful grave of Bessie Coleman. So let's go ahead and walk around all of these other graves Hello, everyone. I am so sorry, guys. Look at how beautiful that is, actually. Look at the door. Oh, somebody is at rest. That's actually, I've never seen one that looked like that before with the door on. All right, so I apologize because it is very, very cold out here today. Uh, and I do mean very, very cold. So I apologize, you guys. So here we are at the grave of Bessie Coleman. And you know how much I love my Bessie, my Queen Bess. So if you come in through the side entrance, Bessie Coleman is literally right here up on this hill. Look at this, in memory of Bessie Coleman. Now, we have definitely went over this grave plenty of times before, but you all know how much I love my Bessie, y'all. Uh, Wonderful black aviator. And there are a few aviators actually over here. Over there, on the other side of the garage, there is Willa Beatrice Brown Chappelle. She, whew, it's cold. Sorry, my hands are still freezing. She actually started uh, uh, and helped start the who trained the Tuskegee Airmen, and also with Florence, no, not Florence, sorry. My brain is freezing, so I am like really out here freezing, you guys, and I apologize. Janet uh Harmon Bragg. There we go. Janet Harmon Bragg and Willa Beatrice Brown Chappelle actually started with their own money the Robbins first black airport over there in Robbins, and they also helped to train Tuskegee Airmen, and they were inspired by Bessie Coleman. So we are now walking to another grave. I don't know if you all can see it. It is very cold out here, but that big, huge headstone here in the back, that headstone belongs to Reverend Elder Lucy Smith. Now, Reverend Elder Lucy Smith was actually the first woman to be in charge of a major congregation here in Chicago. Not even black woman, but she is the first woman who is in charge of a congregation here in Chicago. And also, she is the first African American woman to have her own radio gospel show. Not even just gospel show, but she is the first African American woman to have her own radio show. She had so much money during, and look at this, all of her family is buried out here, you guys. Everybody is buried out here. Look at this. She had the biggest funeral to date in Chicago at the time of her passing. Elder Lucy Smith is the founder of All Nations Pentecostal Church. She actually started this church in her living room, you guys, in her living room, and grew it to a $65,000 church. She had a weekly radio show, gospel show, and she also her church was so uh, rich during the Depression that they were feeding almost 1,000 people a day during the Great Depression. Women, y'all, women. Let's go ahead and take a closer look. I want you all to really, really see. This is gorgeous. These are like pictures of the church when it was first organized. Look at that. That is gorgeous. They have the picture of the funeral, y'all. Look at that. That's gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Let me tell you, folks are getting extremely. Wow, look at that. From South Africa. Oh my goodness. That is absolutely awesome. Absolutely awesome. But yes, this is Reverend Lucy Smith and all of her family as well.
So we are now about to walk back to the car, but there was actually one last section that I wanted to tell you about, and that is right over here. So as we approach the grave of Major John C. Buckner, I also want you all to see this specific part of the cemetery over here is actually the Odd Fellows part of the cemetery. So the Odd Fellows were a organization, well, not the Odd Fellows, but they were a group of organizations. Um, was it the Grand Union? I'll have to think about it. I'll definitely insert it here. But a lot of those lodges and sister organizations that black people were a part of in the late uh, 19th century, early 20th century, they bought plots of land like this section right here in order to provide burials for its members. So what they did was they charged a weekly fee or a monthly fee, and that also included burial insurance. And also, this is exactly what Perry Parker did as well. So they provided burial insurance. They also took care of its members, the wives that were left behind, and it also took care of the children that were left behind as well. So they did this in order to circumvent, well, not well, they did this in order to prevent people, well, black people, let's call it what it is, black people. Look at that, look at that. And it still looks as if it was made yesterday. I'm actually quite surprised that that hasn't oxidized so bad. That's actually pretty cool. I'm not gonna even lie to you. So yes, so in order to avoid people being buried in potters fields and things of that nature, they actually would come together and buy a plot of land so that all of its members would be able to be buried together. You can actually tell the members that are a part of this organization. I forgot, it's the Grand Union. And I'm gonna have to go back and look. I had it in my notes, and I apologize because I don't have too many arms. I'm not gonna lie to you all to be out here holding notes. I don't have more than one phone. Clearly, I need more than one phone. But we are out here learning history, and it's okay. It's okay. I'm, and honestly, you guys, I don't like being in front of the camera, which is why you won't see me in front of the camera. I'm not gonna lie to you. I really hate being in front of the camera. I really just want to teach you all what I need to teach you all, and that is it. But also, I would like to bring to your attention, see, this is section 9. Section 9 is the one with Bessie Coleman right there. Also, in section 8, in an unmarked grave, is the grave of Octavius C. Granady. Octavius Granady was actually a politician who tried to run for office during the era of Mayor William Thompson, and also during the time of Al Capone. So unfortunately, he was trying to run for office in Al Capone's ward to be a committeeman, like a I guess what we would call like a alderman at this point. That's what we call them now. So this is section 8, and he's unmarked in this section. So what happened was is that he was opposing, and we're walking back to Perry Parker. He was opposing Al Capone and Bill Thompson because they were extremely crooked. And so what happened was that the day of the elections, it was actually called the pineapple primary because they considered it a pineapple primary because of the hand grenades, right? So that's what they called the pineapples, were the hand grenades. So they were literally harassing people as they tried to go and vote. Al Capone's people were literally beating up people, harassing people, jumping people, beating beating and killing people just for voting. And that is exactly what they did. So Granity decided that he was going to try to ride around and provide safety for his voters in his ward. And literally, Al Capone's men came and baby shot him up. So it was called the Pineapple Primary. Make sure you guys look that up. All right, I am gone now because it is way too cold for anybody to function out here. But I want you all to explore Lincoln Cemetery. We will be back again, and maybe we will explore the section up at the front with all of the doctors and everything. There are so many other people that we are definitely looking at. We can always go over here and check out the grave of Eugene Williams from the 1919 race riots, which were not too far away. It's literally right over there. Also over there is Eugene Ammons, like I said, Willa Beatrice Brown, and also the epitaph of Janet Harmon Bragg. Make sure you all also check out the Robbins, Illinois History Museum. I think it is open on Sundays. Check it out. There's a lot of Black history at the Robbins, Illinois History Museum, especially when it comes to all of the World War II vets like James Cleggett back there in the back. Also, they have some beautiful, beautiful artifacts from the airport days. They have some beautiful artifacts from what's her name, Nichelle Nichols, from Uhura. Is it Uhura from Star Trek? She's from Robbins, Illinois as well. So I am signing off again here at the grave of Perry Parker, and I hope that you all enjoyed this trip around sections 8, 9, and the Oddfellow section of Lincoln Cemetery today. As always, Black history is great. Have a great day, everyone.
Thank you for walking with us today. As we mentioned, we're officially transitioning into the Black Burial Project. We're building something huge, a collective map of GPS points for Black history makers across Chicago, complete with bios, photos, audio memorials to guide you along your Southside ancestor walks. Our goal is to make sure these names are never forgotten and to raise the funds needed for actual grave preservation. If you want to be a part of this legacy, subscribe and keep those notifications on for future videos. We are not just looking at the past, we are protecting it for the future. This is Tombstone T signing off. Make sure that you subscribe to our Substack at Black Burial Project NFP, and make sure that you see us at the next Southside Ancestor Walk.